Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we are going to learn how to read JSON file with schema, and if data is in array, we are going to convert that array of data into different row, and finally we are going to write this data into Parquet file. Now let's see the use case before we jump into the coding example. So we are going to read the JSON file, and we are going to create one Parquet file. Now if you see the JSON file here, this is the array. Now this array we want output as this. If I have two value in this array, I need two different row. So here one for Java and one for Python. So in order to achieve this, we have to explode this particular column. So after explode, we can see we'll get two different row. Now in order to read this one sample data also we can see here. This sample data, you can say primary skill is here, which we wanted to explode. So in order to explode this data here, we have to see the hierarchy. So here it is requirement dot primary skill. So this part we have to explode. So coding example also we can see here. We are going to discuss about code later. Now in order to read this file, we can provide custom schema, so that if you want a string or integer, that also we can apply. Now let's see the demo. So here I have input folder where we have all the input files. Output will create into this output folder. Then we have a schema which while reading the file will pass the schema. So schema details we have in this file, and finally this is the PySpark code. Now let's see one of the input file. Here, so these are the input file what we have. I wanted to open one of the file. So this is one file. Here we have ID, and this is the requirement. Inside requirement we have primary skill. So these particular data we are going to explode, and for each of these value like R, Python, machine learning, will create different row. Okay, let's close this file, and next we are going to see the schema of this file. So this is the schema what we have defined as per that input data. Let's close this. Finally the PySpark code. Here. So if you see, we started the Spark session. Then we are going to read the schema JSON file, and with that we'll prepare the schema. Now while reading the input file, we are going to pass this schema and path where we have the input file. So all this input data it will read with this provided schema. Then primary skill we have here, requirement dot primary skill. So this data we are going to explode, so that this array will get multiple row. For each item in this list will get one particular row. The new column name will be primary skill. For this exploded data, new column what it will create, that column name will be primary skills. Then next we are going to select all the required columns like ID, title, all these columns whatever I want. So this we have selected here. and finally we are going to write this data into Parquet file. Mode we have given as override, so if there is some existing data it will delete and create a new file. Let's close this and let's run this code. So Spark session started. Now let's see, here we can see the data. So from JSON data, now this is the flat data where we have all the required fields like ID, title, company name, primary skill, all these things we have here. Now finally it is going to write this data into Parquet file.